The 16th century was one of the most dangerous times to be a follower of Christ in English history. Many forsook their allegiance to Christ out of fear for their lives. Others, knowing that their loyalty to Christ would endanger them, remained faithful to their Savior until the end. John Bradford was born into a wealthy family and studied business and law. His education and skills enabled him to be employed in the service of the notorious Henry VIII. During his law studies in England, Bradford came to faith in Jesus Christ, and soon began his theological studies at Cambridge University. He was ordained a chaplain in 1550, and he once witnessed a row of Christian prisoners being led to their execution. This is when he uttered the famous words so many quote today, "There but for the grace of God, go I." In 1553, King Edward died and Mary Tudor, also known as Bloody Mary, took the throne. She immediately condemned more than 300 Christians to death. Bradford knew that he would soon be in trouble as well. One hot August Sunday morning, one of Mary Tudor's bishops preached a sermon critical of the recently deceased King Edward. The crowd grew angry and violent. Bradford was present in the crowd and urged calm. He eventually led the bishop to safety, risking his own life. 3 days later, Bradford was arrested for sedition. For the next 2 years, he was imprisoned in English prison cells, where he continued to preach, teach, and write. His reputation among the guards was so trusted that he was often released secretly at night, trusting that he would return in the morning, which he always did. Finally, he had his day in court. There, he was asked if he would forsake Christ to be loyal to the Queen. He replied, "I shall be glad of the Queen's favor, on terms that correspond with my duty to him whose favor is life, but whose displeasure is worse than any death mortals can inflict." So on July 1, 1555, Bradford was led to the stake to be burned alive. He was tied to the stake with a younger prisoner. As the flames rose around them, Bradford said to the young prisoner tied next to him, "Brother, be of good comfort, for we shall have a merry supper with the Lord this night, where all our pains will end in peace, and our warfare in songs of joy."